for me to finish the workshop, and then I can answer your questions. All right, so we're going to talk about your 2023 Internet Marketing Plan. And what we'll cover today is to set clear goals and a target for 2023. What that means is, how many leads do you need to hit your targets? So if you are a $1 million general contractor or a $5 million general contractor, and you want to either increase your revenue by 30% or double your revenue, I'm going to show you a simple way for you to set goals and targets based on how many qualified leads you need to get into your universe so you can convert those leads into clients. You want to track KPIs, which stands for Key Performance Indicators. And this is a variety of things. And I'm going to show you some key things that you should be tracking for your business. We'll map out a plan for what budgets you want based on what your revenue goals are, what those channels need to be. Channels as in, are your leads coming from the website? Are they coming from your social media? And then I'll also speak about the important trends that are happening in digital marketing today with respect to general contractors and remodelers. And we'll, at the end of this, you'll be able to be ready for massive success in 2023 and beyond. Before we dive in, I just want to share a little bit about me, why you should listen to me. I am based in California, in the Bay Area. 10 years ago, I started a children's education business, which provides spring and summer camp education for children ages 4 to 16 years old through play with Lego, robotics, and financial literacy. The children come in and they learn the basics of coding, the basics of the stock market, and so forth. When I started the business, I was just like every other business owner. I had this great idea and I said, I'm going to go ahead and build out a website. When I look back, the reason why I was able to be successful and hit $1 million in revenue going into year 2 was because of how focused I was with online digital marketing. Through the process of growing my education business, I used to speak to a lot of other business owners, and I was constantly helping people with Facebook ads and Google ads and SEO, things that I was just doing for my own business that was delivering these amazing results for my business. That set me down the path of becoming a Grow with Google partner. A Grow with Google partner is a liaison. I have a connection directly into the Grow with Google team that is headquartered here in Mountain View, California. Why I did that is because I realized the power of Google. Everybody's searching on Google, remodeler near me, general contractor near me, best remodeler near me. And I realized that in order for a business to really thrive, you need to understand everything there is about the Google algorithm. And so I first became a Grow with Google partner. And then I decided that I really enjoyed working with general contractors and remodelers because the concept of the way you drive leads is very similar to the concept of a parent trying to find an education program, right? A kid needs to go to a high quality program. A homeowner needs a really fabulous kitchen remodel. The concept of lead generation is the same. And so I decided to build an agency where I'm able to work exclusively with general contractors and remodelers, because if I could potentially help a HVAC contractor or a yoga studio or a beauty salon or anybody that needs digital marketing. But the fun in digital marketing comes when you really are focused on one niche, and that is general contractors and remodelers. So my team is very well versed in being able to online lead generate because we only work with general contractors and remodelers. And I'm a member of NARI. I don't know if you know about the National Association of Remodelers. Perhaps some of you are members as well, the Kitchen and Bathroom Association. So my goal is to help 100 remodeling contractors, businesses, unbox the true potential of your business using data, right? You need to understand how the Google algorithm works and be able to drive those high quality leads that you need to reach your revenue targets. And so the reason why I like to tell my backstory is that I am not just another digital marketer that just went and looked at some YouTube videos and just taught myself different things. I have been in the trenches. I've built more than a 7-figure business today with my children's education business. I have an entire roster of general contractors. Should you decide to work with me, you can speak to one of them to, see how I generate results for them. And so I am in this because I really love helping other business owners generate a steady stream of leads online, because once you have a steady stream of leads, that is the lifeline for your business. You're set. You don't have to worry about any other sort of marketing. Through the process of growing my education business, as well as helping my roster of general contractor clients today, I came up with what I call a digital dominance method. And this basically breaks down what any business should be doing. You can take this process and you can apply it to any business. But what I have here focuses on general contractors and remodelers. So at the very core of any lead generation is your company, right? Your kitchen, bathroom, ADU, remodeling, whatever services you provide, your company, your website. The very first thing you need to do is you need to have a really strong website. Your website is your home. All your leads that are your guests are going to come home. When they come home, they need to be quickly able to know what services you provide, why they should choose you, why they want to do business with you, and make it really simple for them to quickly go ahead and communicate with you. And today, if you're not using text marketing, you're losing out on leads. So that is step one, right? Where your website's strong. The next is, how is your website communicating with Google Maps, your Google profile? I thought you needed me to pick you up from the clinic. Background noise. So if you have questions, you can unmute yourself. So the next thing is your Google online presence. Once you have your free online presence established and you decide, I am not interested in spending any money on ads, if you just have these two pieces of the equation, well set up, organically, you're going to get a steady stream of leads. So sometimes people pull up a website and then they go ahead and they start spending on ads. That is not the correct way to do it. You need to have good brand presence on Google Maps, because if you don't do anything else, you have a great website and you have a good Google Map, Google business presence, you're going to get a steady stream of leads, organic leads, provided you have a strategy for reviews. As you're completing those projects and you have those raving fans that have enjoyed working with you, you need to have a strategy where you're getting those reviews on Google. You do these two things, and then you move into the payment platform of saying, I'm going to spend $1,000 a month on Google ads, or I'm going to spend $500 a month on Bing ads. Then you go and you look at paid online directories. Where else can I go list myself? Should I become a paid house client? Are there good resources that I can get from that? If you go and do all of this without having 1 and 2 in place, you're going to just be wasting your money. Then you can think about email marketing. Everybody is just very gung-ho about, okay, let me just go ahead and set up a Facebook account. I'm going to post on Instagram. I'm going to post on Twitter. I'm going to create a Pinterest board for my brand. It's not that important, because social media does drive traffic, but you want to start with a solid website, serious Google Map presence, then think about spending on ads, then think about all the directories. If you're a member of NARI, you want to be talking about your NARI membership on your website. Make sure that your story is complete. Then have a really good email marketing and social media plan. You can go ahead and spend a lot more on these networks, should you have the budget. Then you can go into the Facebook and the YouTube marketing, because the cost per lead can be pretty high, but you already have all of these in place. And after that, you can think about a referral program, where if you have a really raving fan client, you can tell them, hey, if you refer a friend, I can give them $500 off. Or maybe you don't want to be perceived as a discounted brand, so you don't do discounts. You just start sending newsletters talking about your new services. Maybe you've been doing kitchen and bathrooms and you're planning to add ADUs as a service this year. Then you just blast out a newsletter, right? That doesn't cost money. But the thing is, there is a method to this madness. If you just pick and choose things and just do it in random order, there's only so many results that you'll get out of it. If you follow it in sequence, and one of the things that I like to highlight is that digital marketing is not something where you wake up and you say, well, this month, I think I have the money, I'm in the mood for it, I'm going to do a little bit of digital marketing to see where it goes. It is a circle. It is a cycle. It is something that you commit to, right? You have to do it at a minimum for 90 days. It's going to give you data. It's going to say, hey, these are the 3 sources from which your best leads, your best qualified leads are coming in from. All right, awesome. So Google Ads is working, Facebook Ads is working, posting on Facebook is working. All right, what can we do to do more of what's working? And then forget about Twitter, forget about Instagram. I'm not getting any leads from there. So this is how you have to go ahead and try something for 90 days, really sit and look at your data. I'm just huge on data, right? We must be tracking everything. My clients today know whether a lead came from a sign on a truck, right? Because all of you have vehicles that are marked. They know if it came from Google, if it came from Instagram. So it's really simple today to track the source of your leads. If you have a lot of leads coming from your trucks and you've not invested in wrapping all your trucks, hey, it's a good thing for you to go ahead and do instead of going and putting all your money into Google Ads. And so that's where it's important for you to know where your leads are coming from, and it has to be a data-driven strategy. So I'm going to drop a link here to a workbook so you can follow along. Let me know if you have any difficulty opening it. What you need to do is once you open it, you will have to go to File and make a copy. Once you make a copy, you can rename it with the name of your brand, and then you'll be able to type into it. So I'm just going to give you a second to do that. So you can just go ahead and follow along. All right. So, and you can save it, you can play around with it. I've just given you a lot of information in there. All right. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to set clear goals, right? Clear goals are the wind in your sails. We all know that. Once you have a thought, and then you write it down, it becomes a goal. Once you write it down, the probability of you achieving that goal becomes even higher. So today, you want to look at your past year's revenue. How did it go? Were you pleased? What was your average monthly revenue? So if you look at the workbook, there's a section where you can write this. So if you're just joining, I am going to drop the link again. So some people are just hopping in. You want to open up this document that's in the chat and make a copy of it, save it for yourself so you can go ahead and type into it if you're in a safe place where you can be typing. I know many of you are perhaps out and about on your phone, just listening in. Just listening in is fine as well. It will still, fire your thought processes. So it'll make you think about the things that you should be focusing on. And so you want to think about what your average monthly revenue was. Were you happy with the average monthly revenue that you generated last year? Same time, January 2022 versus 2023, what are your numbers looking at? If you were not pleased or you have bigger goals, what are you doing in terms of high quality lead generation? What were the typical number of projects you ran per month? Is there an opportunity for you to improve your processes so you're doing fewer high quality projects? So one of my clients, we were able to generate a huge quantity of leads for them, and the leads were starting to book appointments on their sales team's calendar. And pretty soon they realized that they needed a better way to get these leads. And so and this contractor only does $75,000 or higher kitchen remodels. And so he said, I'm really not interested in speaking to people that are, IKEA or Home Depot or a lower tier remodeling project. What can we do? And so they decided that they wanted to invite the homeowner to their office for a preliminary meeting to describe their build and design process. So then the person can make a decision whether they wanted to do business with them or not. The homeowner, in order to come to the office, has to pay $200 for the preliminary meeting. They were really wary. They said, is this going to backfire? Not at all. The contractor landed up doing 30 projects last year and netted at $9 million in revenue. And so you can be really, really savvy about what projects you're taking on. Are you just taking it on to like put money in the bank? What are your long-term goals? What is the caliber of client that you're looking for? And really put processes in place. If a homeowner that wants a $75,000 remodel to a kitchen is not interested in spending $200 to come to your office for a preliminary meeting, the $200 you can just write it off to the rest of the project. There's something that doesn't gel with the kind of lead that you're working with. So there's a lot of strategies that you can put into place to make sure that the typical number of projects that you're running meets your needs. Then you can look at your average project value, average conversion after estimate generation, because estimate generation is so much of your time, right? If you're doing 30 estimates per month as an example, what is your conversion? If it's not converting, is it because you're so pressed for time that you don't have a follow-up system? So we're able to build out automations where we immediately follow up with the client lead after you've done an estimate and say, how did it go? Do you have any questions? Sometimes you've sent over the estimate and you haven't yet had a chance to follow up with them. So we send them a text message and say, do you have any questions? And when they write back saying, yes, I'd like to speak to the contractor, we have the ability to immediately notify you and say, hey, this homeowner A has this question. If you follow up with them, they're going to immediately, close on the estimate so it converts into a client. Or sometimes they will reply and say, well, the price is a tad bit too high. Is this negotiable? If it's negotiable, let's go back to the table and negotiate. If it's not, great, let's get them off the list and go keep working down our list of other qualified leads. And then you want to look at your number of project advisors or salespeople. If you are working solo, are you planning to add one more person that can do these estimate generations for them? Because once you have the number of salespeople go higher, then that's when you can feed in more of those leads and convert more of those qualified leads into clients. So that might be a bottleneck for you in your business today, where perhaps you're working solo and you need to add on one more project advisor or salesperson. Every contractor calls them differently, but that might be the tipping point for you to take all those leads and convert them into clients for yourself. So the first thing that you want to do when you're trying to lay out a plan for 2023 is to think through these numbers, write it down. It's there in the workbook. If you probably know some of these numbers in your head, and then make realistic goals for yourself, saying that we need to have a better conversion for projects where we've already generated estimates. What are the typical projects we ran? Were they worthy? Were they the kind of projects that we want to be doing? If not, identify those 5 projects that you want to be doing. I have one contractor who's made a decision to only build ADUs here in California. It's huge because everybody's putting ADUs on Airbnb. Homeowners have huge mortgages. We are just generating ADU leads for them. And it can be from the design and then the build. Some homeowners already have a design. They bring it in, they have the permits, then the contractor builds, but they made a decision that they just didn't want to do anything for the first half of the year. Awesome, you have that kind of clarity. We can turn on the leads to cater whatever your goals are. Next is your marketing strategy. For your marketing strategy, the model that I subscribe to is called an accelerated growth model. What this means is there's 3 components to it. The first thing is as a business, the lifeline of any business is to drive leads. You need to have an organic strategy, which is a good looking website, a stellar Google business profile, a strategy to get reviews in. Once you have that, then you can think about a paid strategy. Paid as in Google ads, Facebook ads, based on the geography that you're in. We can do some keyword SEO stuff. And then your database. If you've been on Home Advisor or Yelp or anywhere, you should have a database of past home clients, home leads that were interested in doing business with you. If you're sitting on even 100 email addresses, we can convert 10% of those into appointments for you today. So if you're sitting on a database of most of the contractors that come in to work with my team, they come in with between 5,000 to 6,000 list of past leads that they were not able to convert. That is a gold mine that you're sitting on, right? Because we can take that list and we can deploy what we call a database reactivation, where we can just make them a simple offer. I have contractors that don't want to make an offer. They don't want to be perceived as a discounting brand. And so they're like, well, just write to them and say, hello, do you have a remodeling project? We're here to serve you. And there are others that go, well, would be happy to like give them a $500 off a design, the interior design or the plan or something. So you do you, right? You choose what works for you, but we can do that database reactivation, which immediately will put minimum 10 appointments on your calendar based on the size of your list. So if you have a database, any sort of database, and you haven't spoken to that database in a while, you're sitting on a gold mine. The next thing is you want to maximize conversion. How do you maximize conversion? You want to have a great looking website. You always want to be thinking about your reputation. And next month, I'm actually going to be teaching a workshop on reputation management. The fact of life is that you can't please everybody, right? You are likely to get a 2-star review or a 4-star review. In my opinion, having been in business for 10 years, I can tell you that it makes you real. Do not get disheartened by a 1-star review or 4-star review, because those businesses that have those, everything's a 5-star review, they actually don't present as real. And so if there was somebody that was upset over something, just have a very logical answer on Google, reply to the review. And that's what Google cares about. That's what other homeowners care about, that you're a business owner that cares about a 1-star review. Then really take it to heart and have a process, meet with your team, figure out why that person was upset. And sometimes people are just unrealistic. Oh, they didn't return my call, or some silly thing that just upsets them. But there is a way to avoid all of this, right? We can have automations that make people feel like they're talking to a human, that you don't have to ever worry about that kind of negative reviews of people not hearing back from you right away. And so you must be using automation today. You must be using text marketing today, because everybody has a phone in their hands. We know how the world functions. If you're not giving people the ability to quickly call you, text you, you're again leaving money on the table. If you're using a method where people come to your website, they send you a form, your team sits down, looks at the form submissions once a week, you've lost, you've already lost. The moment a form is submitted, there should be a text message that goes out that says, thank you, here is a way for you to book time on my calendar. The moment you empower the lead to pick a time that works for them on your calendar, it goes into 85% conversion, because there they are, come to your website thinking about you, they want to do business with you, they completed a form, boom, you give them a way to like book time on your calendar, you confirm the appointment. It can be a 15-minute phone call, right? It can be a 15-minute phone call 4 days later. But the fact that the lead came in and chose time on your calendar and is ready and knows that you're going to call them back in 4 days is very powerful. And after that, if it's a correct fit, that lead is going to convert into a client. You want to optimize your results. You always want to be looking at your return on investment. If you're, for my clients, when we run Google ads and Facebook ads, we're always looking at return on investment. We want to land. So today, for general contractors, for like a custom home build, we're able to get leads in between $130 to $150 in California via Google. But on Facebook, we're able to get $16 to $17 leads. $17 for a home build, right? That is so cheap. And so we're really able to play with those numbers. We're really able to target the correct demographics to get you the best return on investment. That I actually have contractors that go, well, turn down the ads. Like, we don't have enough salespeople. Let's turn down the ads so we can come back. And you always want to be looking at the average cost per lead, right? What is it landing at? Does it make sense for you? If the cost per lead is very low, because if your project size is $30,000, we can afford to spend a bit more to get a higher quality lead. And these are the things that I have a Facebook ads team, a Google ads team, and we typically check it almost every day to be sure that you're getting the best return on investment. And of course, the total spend. You're the boss. You're going to say, hey, this month, I feel comfortable to spend $1,000 on ads. And from my experience, I'll tell you, if you cannot afford to spend $1,000 on ads, you're not ready for ads. Don't waste your money on $100 or $500, because you won't get significant data. And so this is the accelerated growth model, where you need to have a strategy to drive leads organically, paid, and then always look at all the leads you've generated in your lifetime, because that is a gold mine. Think about conversions, optimize results. But all of this, the baseline is data. We are looking at numbers. If we spent $1,000 on ads, what were the results? What was the cost per lead? What was the quality of the lead? And there is an entire tool that I use where you'll have a dashboard and you'll be able to see clear results and clear conversions. And you will come in and say, hey, these leads are looking really great quality. I'm ready to spend $1,500 on ads. And the amount that I'm talking about, you're not paying me, you're spending on Google or on Facebook directly. So it's driving those results for you. So that's the $1,000, $1,500. I have contractors that spend $10,000 a month on ads because they're such a large contractor. They have about 8 people on the sales team. Those are the things that you can use to determine how much you want to spend. But $1,000 is a good number to start at, so you get some valuable information on what the return on spend is looking at. So I have a question. What's the hardest part about marketing your remodeling business online today? Would you be willing to share with me in the comments? What is the number one thing that you think is a difficulty in sharing, in generating leads online today? Anybody care to participate? All right. So many options. Unclear where to spend your budget. Should I do SEO? Should I build a new website? Should I do Facebook ads? Should I do Google ads? Do I need to be posting more on social media? What am I doing, right? This is where, again, go back to the digital dominance method. What are your goals? Go back and think about the quality of leads you generated last year. Do you have a good home base? Do you have a solid website? Do you have a good Google Map presence? If you don't have those two things, just set that as a goal for the next 90 days. Then you're not going to feel as confused as to what the next steps need to be. There's also a checklist that I have that you can take and you can work through it. I'd be happy to share it with you. I'll drop it here as a link. You can go through it and you can figure out, what are the things that you're missing. And right there, it's going to tell you which of the steps that you need to focus on. So for the maximum flow of calls, leads, and profitability in your remodeling business, you need to do a variety of things, right? So let me share one more document with you, which is actually, if you're in the workbook, it's right here. It's called Key Targets. And if you open it up, it's one more worksheet, which looks like this. Again, you need to go to File. You can make a copy of it. And you can actually type into it as we're speaking. So let me know if you need help finding it. It's in the original workbook that I gave you, where you can, it has all the slides that I'm talking about. But here there's a key targets. And it has a worksheet because there's formulae in it. It's going to do automatic calculations for you. Does anybody need help finding it? Is anybody using the worksheet, or are you just listening in right now? So if you have again, if you're following along using the worksheet, I want to encourage you to first make a copy. And then you can go ahead and start typing into it. Okay, so let me share my screen. I'm going to walk you through that worksheet. Are you seeing the worksheet? Is everybody seeing the worksheet? I see one person is looking at it. That's great. So here's your lead generation target planner, right? The formulae are set. So you don't want to be typing in any of the cells that are highlighted green. It means that there's already formulae in there. It's going to do the math for you. So here's an example. Your annual revenue goal or target is 2.5 million for this year, which means your monthly revenue target is immediately calculated, divided by 12 months. We need to hit 210,000 per month. What is your average lead value, which is basically what is your average project, right? Are you a smaller general contractor focusing on $15,000 to $30,000 projects? Are you a larger contractor building custom homes, ADUs, 250,000, 500,000? What is your average lead value, right? Think about that and put it in. So in this example, I've used a lower number of $15,000. What does that translate to? For you to hit the 208,000, you need 14 service calls, right? What is your average conversion rate from the calls? 50%, which means you need to get 28 qualified leads. If you get 28 qualified leads and you're able to convert 50% of them, you're going to have 14 clients that can pay you $15,000 to get you to your 210,000 a month. You keep that steady flow, which may not be possible because if you're based in Chicago or Twin Cities, Minnesota, you're not going to be building and being able to work and do projects when there's snow on the ground. So which means you need to have a different strategy and you need to strategize for the busy months, which means the number of leads you need in those busy months is going to change. But this little target planner will give you an idea as to the number of leads you need to generate per month. You can just add on, January, February, March, if you are based in a city where there's snow and you can generate leads every month. But this is a number that as a business owner, you should know in your head if your goal is to hit $2.5 million in revenue. This is the very basis of any kind of planning. The next thing is, we can look at average cost per lead. So if you look on the bottom, there's several pages, sheets that I've added in there. The first thing is budget allocations. So again, for simplicity, you can use the actual number 2.5 million. For simplicity, I just put in a million because it's easier to look at numbers when it's a rounded number. Let's say your marketing budget is 6% for $1 million in revenue. Your total marketing budget is $60,000. Monthly budget is $5,000. What can we do with this $5,000? You can allocate 70% to online marketing, 20% to offline marketing. Offline, as in I talked to you about wrapping your trucks, making your crew look sharper so your brand presents better, which is going to translate to better reviews. And you can say, I'm going to spend 10% on that for repeat business. I'm going to send gift cards to my clients. I'm going to do database reactivation because database reactivation costs money in terms of trying to text 6,000 people that were interested in doing business with you. So you can take that $60,000 and you can split it up and you can set goals for every month and say, what am I spending on online marketing? So I'm going to spend $1,000 on ads. I'm going to spend on Facebook ads, Google ads, right? You can pick a variety. There's going to be 5 keywords that I'm going to focus on. I really want just high quality kitchen and bathroom remodels for the first 6 months. So then we'll just say best kitchen remodeler near me, best remodeler near me. Like choose those 5 phrases of 5 keywords and just make you rank in Google for those. And then your offline marketing, if you've never wrapped your trucks, maybe your trucks can use a new rewrap. You can go, maybe you want to do some yard signs. You have the ability to do that. You want to think about what you're doing with that budget. The thing though is we will know whether those offline marketing efforts are giving you leads. It's not money that you're just going to take and spend. When we have a lead that comes in, we have a process where we quiz them and say, how did you hear about New Key Construction or whatever brand you are? And then they're going to say, okay, this is how I heard about you from, I saw your truck, or I found you on Nextdoor, or I found you on House. Or so you're going to know of any offline marketing strategies. And then for the repeat business, you can say you want to spend $500. Then we can take that, like I said, we can again split it further. So it's very data centric, right? At any given time, you're going to say, hey, this month I spent $2,000 on ads and I got 30 leads, 50% of those converted. Of those 50%, which is, let's say, as an example, 15 leads that converted, 10 are really my go-to kind of leads that I want, and they paid me this many dollars. you'll be able to immediately see the return on investment from those dollars. And that is what will incentivize you to say, okay, this makes complete sense. Can I pick another set of 5 more keywords? And can we target my brand to get leads for another arm of your business? So I have a very large general contractor that's my client right now. They do exterior work, roofing, siding, all sorts of projects, but they've grown so big that they now want to add kitchen remodeling, right? So now the first 90-day goal is to just be found online for kitchen remodeling, because they already have digital presence for all of the other services that they provide. So it's literally as simple as wishing for something, having a strategy, placing an order with the Google algorithm, but doing it in a concerted way where, I have a dashboard where I can show you, hey, yes, you are ranking for these. Of the 5 keywords you wanted, you're already ranking for these 3 keywords. Let's keep the juice going for SEO. So you keep ranking for those keywords. And if you're ranking for keywords, you're going to get leads for that specific activity into your website. If you're just paying somebody for SEO and you're not getting leads for that specific term, they are not doing anything, or you're not getting any return on investment out of that SEO spend. That's how simple it is. With digital marketing, the beauty of it, the fascinating thing is that everything is trackable. Every dollar is trackable, right? So here is another breakdown of, you can go ahead and play with it. You can say, how much do I want to spend? You can do SEO, PPC, display, retargeting, because if somebody's come to your website, we can actually put a pixel on the website, and then once how you go look at a pair of shoes you like and you don't buy it, and then you go back to Facebook, that shoe's like just following you. We can follow people around once they come to your website and then don't make a decision. So we'll take the money that you want to spend on online marketing and we'll say, let's do some display marketing, some retargeting. So there's just a lot of strategies that we can deploy. So today, if you've never done this kind of planning, you want to start here, make sure that this number matches here, figure out what you think is a good number. So the larger contractors spend between 10 to 15%. Like I said, you have to spend at least 5 to 6% on marketing. Otherwise, it's not going to be a significant number for you to get results. If you're a smaller contractor, you can think about organic lead generation by having a solid website and a solid Google presence. And just that can drive you leads. And you want to think about adding automation. If you're a smaller contractor, you should have automation, because the organic leads that come in are priceless, right? You really want to convert them fast. But if you can afford a reasonable marketing budget, you want to play around with these numbers and think about what makes logical sense for you. Then we can actually go ahead and track what the average cost per lead by source is. PPC is basically Google search. You go to www.google.com and you say best remodel near me. So we can run ads on a Google search page. If you're not familiar with local services ads, I'll talk a little bit more in detail here. Every contractor, every service is eligible for, somebody asked the question, okay, is eligible for being Google guaranteed. If you've never heard about Google guaranteed, it's something that you want to go ahead and Google and read up about. It's a little bit of a tedious process, but every licensed contractor that carries a liability insurance is eligible to be Google guaranteed. It is available in pretty much all of the US. There might be a few cities where Google may not have rolled it out. But again, because of my liaison with Google, I can check for you based on where you're headquartered, if you're eligible or not. All the larger cities, you can be Google guaranteed. Once you're Google guaranteed, what it will do for you is it will give you a green check mark. See, if you've never seen this, this is Google guaranteed. Your brand can be Google guaranteed. Look at where the Google guaranteed people are landing, right? They're landing on the very top of the search page. Once you're Google guaranteed, you can run what is called local services ads. And if you run local services ads, what Google does is, if you're a Google guaranteed business, you will only pay for qualified leads. You, as the business owner, get to say whether the lead was qualified or not. And so there is a dashboard where you can train a team member to just come in and say qualified, not qualified, qualified, not, not qualified. The not qualified leads, you won't pay a single penny on it. And Google's willing to do that for business owners, provided your Google guarantee, because they want honest, hardworking people with dreams, real business owners on search. Because Google's in the search game. They want to be the best search engine in the world. And so their strategy is to guarantee businesses, give you a way to run ads. So these brands, they're not only guaranteed, they're also running ads. And within the ad, like I said, you will leave feeling fabulous. You will not waste a single penny on a lead that does not meet your needs. So you can have search ads. So this is a search ad, right, where it's landing on the top of the page, but the Google guaranteed is even above the search ad. That is the power of being Google guaranteed. So you can say, okay, if the cost per lead from search is $40, a local services ad, which is the Google guaranteed ad, is $30, my repeat referral, you can figure out what your blended average is. This is going to give you a cost per lead, and we can go track it for additions, ADUs, kitchen, bathroom remodels. And we can say, okay, if this is the cost per lead by source, what can we take that $1,000? How can we split it up? What makes sense? And then, you can look at averages. So there's a lot of numbers and data that you can look at, provided you have a strategy, provided you're tapping into all of the resources that are available out there for you as a general contractor. The next thing I've given you is a marketing calendar, right? In the calendar, you can say PPC. These are your SEO, your search terms, right? They're going to match your Google ads, will match your SEO goals. You're going to say the first 90 days, I'm going to be the best remodeler near me, and build that authority on Google. The next 90 days, I'm going to be the best custom home builder in, I just use Chicago as an example. We'll just use the city or cities that you want business in. We'll rotate through. If so, I have contractors that want business in a 25-mile radius, which translates to 12 cities. So we go ahead, and because I live in the Bay Area, I can name all the cities in California. We rank them in San Jose, Redwood City, Palo Alto, Menlo Park, right? So similarly, we'll sit down with you and say, hey, what are your targeted cities? We'll rank you there. We'll say, hey, we want ADUs in the second half of the year. We'll do a cost of ADU builds strategy, because that is the most commonly searched keyword, where people are like, what will it cost me to add an ADU in the backyard? You go and you put the search terms that are in your lead's head, it's going to convert into a qualified lead. Maybe you want to do home additions, room conversions. People are converting garages to, like, everybody's working from home today and maybe they need more space, right? And then to match that, you can have an email strategy of your past clients, where you can send out a newsletter. Then you're top of mind of those people that came to your website, gave you their contact information, but did not convert into an appointment or an estimate. We're going to be able to track who's reading these. We can match the emails to a strategy on social media, right? Because we want the entire, it's called a digital footprint, to be a continuous, congruent story. You can have displays that match what your goals are, right? So, and then if you like, you can have email marketing specials per month. And I know some of my larger contractors are not interested in specials. They're like, I'm not a discounted brand. I'm not doing any specials. Just speak about my brand, how great we are. I have 60 reviews on Google. I'm not doing any discounts. I have contractors who go, well, we'll do a $500 off the design. Great. We'll let your potential client know that there's $500 that they can save should they choose to come and do business with you. So we'll sit down with you and make 90-day plans and say, what are your goals for the next 90 days? Let's lay it out, right? So I want to share this with you, because even if you don't work with a digital marketing agency or use anybody, you as a business owner can have a plan in place for yourself by simply working through this workbook. Then you will have clarity as to what you're trying to reach, right? And if you're not spending on anything on marketing, you want to ask yourself, how are you going to reach those goals? Because there's even a saying that the person that spends the most gets the best leads, but that's really not true. You can be very smart about your ad spend. So I'll just stop here briefly and answer any questions that anybody has. And I have a few more things that I'd like to review. Any questions so far? Nope. Okay. All right, let's go back. Again, back to, I keep speaking about your website. It's your hub. It needs to convert, right? Your website is the hub. Your website is the home. And if you have a dated website, maybe you have a, brand new website that was built, but is it delivering for you? Is it delivering the results that you need to get out of it? Because like I said, if your website's not optimized and your Google presence is not optimized, don't go and waste money on ads. Don't go and hire a social media manager and post on social media. Because if you just have a solid website and a good Google algorithm presence, and you have a process to get reviews, I have smaller contractors who don't do anything else. They just have those 3 things in place, and they generate a good stream of leads. So your website is the hub. Pull your website right now, look at it. Is it looking right on the phone? Does it need any tweaks? That's the number one thing, because everybody is looking at websites on phones. And just optimizing your website for speed on a cell phone in somebody's hand will get you better conversions from your website. And these are simple tweaks that can be done. So the biggest marketing issue facing general contractors today is unconverted leads, right? You get so many leads, you're busy, or you generate an estimate and you don't close on the estimate. It's the unconverted leads, because the reality is that there are enough people that need your amazing services. Once they come into your universe, how rapidly are you following up with them? How easy is it for them to book an appointment with you? Once they book an appointment and generate an estimate, what happens? What is your percent conversion? The more you track these things, the easier it's going to be for you to get clarity as to whether it's going to be possible for you come December 2023, whether you're going to hit your goals or not. 50 to 60% of inbound leads are unconverted, and 90% of website forms fail to convert, right? Because it's this form, and then most of my contractors, before they come to me, they're like, oh, we have a weekly meeting after the form is submitted. No, that's not going to work, to have a weekly meeting and then look at it. If somebody came home as in your homepage, your website, they are gold. They like you, they found you, they want to talk to you. You must be talking to them right away. The moment they come and they submit that form, there needs to be automations in place to make them feel like they're talking to a human. It's not really possible for you to have a person like replying right away. But today, with digital automations, it's possible for you to have that person experience the feeling of, wow, there's a way for me to book an appointment. Oh, I can text them and ask a question. Some people come with plans. We'll give them a way to upload the plans. So then your team member can immediately get the plans. And so before the first phone conversation, your project advisor or sales manager has already looked at the plans. So when they come to the meeting, they're going to be prepared, and they're going to have a more intelligent conversation about pricing. So
I'm interested in your 99 Honda Accord. Is it still available?
Interested in what? Say that again, Francisco.
You're not sure.
Want the sheet?
Can he look?
Okay.
All right, well, drop it in the chat. Leads that are not followed up within 15 minutes go cold. The average customer must be followed up 5 to 7 times before booking sometimes. So we have an automation that we build out where we go, hey, you came to our website, you filled out a form, how's it going? How's your project going? Because people get busy. The reality of life is, if you want a kitchen or a bathroom remodel or an ADU in your backyard, you can't be hanging out Monday to Friday. You need to be working to be able to afford to pay you to get that cool remodel done. So which means, we actually track when people book appointments. And so people book appointments to speak to your team Monday to Friday. They're willing to respect your business hours. But when are they booking that appointment? Friday evening, Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning. That's when the homeowner actually has the time to say, okay, I need this home improvement project. Let me go and figure it out, right? So at that time, if you don't have somebody answering the phone. We are not working Friday evenings and Saturday. We need to be with our families and children. So, but if you have an automation that's helping them book an appointment, come Monday morning, your calendar is going to be full. And today's consumer, we prefer to interact via text messages versus phone or email because it's so fast, right? It's in the palm of your hands. You're thinking about it. You're sitting at your kid's soccer game. You do a little search, go book an appointment, done. One thing off my checklist of things to do in life. Excuse me. So you really want to make it simple for people to be able to book time on your calendar. It's simple math. If you get 100 leads, your conversion rate is 30% because you have no follow-up. You get 30 jobs booked, right? An average ticket is $15,000. That's $450,000. If your conversion rate is 70% because you have automated follow-up and the value of the job is the same, right there, that's how you double your revenue, because that conversion, that automated follow-up is the icing on the cake, right? The butter on the bread that's really going to expedite that lead conversion. And so think about how you're not only getting leads into your universe, what are you doing with those leads? The fourth thing is know and track your KPIs, which stand for key performance indicators. Be really passionate about 5 things, 5 keywords that you want to focus on. So here's one of my remodelers based in Walnut Creek, California. They want to do custom home builds. They want to do ADUs. They want to do full house remodeling. They want to be found as the best general contractor. There we go. We have them ranking for those 5 search terms. Now we're targeting custom home builder, not in Walnut Creek, California. Anybody that's searching for custom home builder outside of Walnut Creek is also going to be finding them. They're ranking number 2. And so have goals as to what do you want to be found for, right? Because you as the business owner drive what you want to be found for, what services you want to provide, what team you have that can provide that stellar service. Pick those 3 to 5 things, focus on it, track it. You are going to get those results. You have this plan in place, you have a stellar website, you're going to get forms submitted from your website because people are going to find you on search. Makes every lead you generate more valuable, right? Everybody that comes in, you don't want to lead. They should not just be a line item on a Google spreadsheet or an Excel spreadsheet because you did not have the time to follow up with them. Everybody, you should be talking to them 6 to 7 times. How do you do that? Through automations till they say, go away, my project is done, unsubscribe, or you've decided they're not a good fit, or they've become your client, right? That's how simple it is. So clear goal and target for 2023, clarity around your market, right? ADU, kitchen, bathroom, what's your message? What media are you using? Are you doing Google ads, Facebook ads? And your website's optimized for conversion. And you have your, a tracking dashboard, that sheet I shared with you. At any given time, you should know if you want to hit $2.5 million in revenue and your conversion rate based on your sales team that you know is 50%, you need 28 leads. So that's 14 leads at $15,000, which is $210,000 a month times 12 is $2.5 million. Once you have that number in your head and you say, now you go and you say as the owner, okay, those projects now, I am not interested in those $10,000 bathroom remodels. I'm only interested in $30,000 kitchen remodels. Or perhaps you're a larger contractor and you're only interested in $250,000 projects. Then that's when you tweak it and you can choose your key performance indicators to get you the results that you want. So here are the key trends, right? I want to give you all the information out there. I shared with you the sheet that you can take and work. And here are the key trends for 2023, right? The number 1 thing is Google Local Services ads. And it's really fantastic, Google Local Services ads, because like I said, you only pay for qualified leads. Becoming Google guaranteed takes a little bit of work, but once you're Google guaranteed, you're only paying for qualified leads. And the more you teach the Google algorithm saying, yes, qualified, yes, qualified, yes, qualified, it's going to feed more and more of those leads for you. People are moving from phone conversations to messages, right? Think about how we function. We just want things in the now, right? Instant gratification. Nobody's really leaving a message, call me back, leave me a voicemail. Nobody has the time for that. So if you're not engaging in instant text messaging, which is, you want to function like an Uber or a Lyft, right? We've all taken an Uber or a Lyft. How does it work? You've gone out, partied with some friends, you don't want to drive that night, you're hailing a Lyft or an Uber. You call the lift. What happens? White Toyota Corolla coming down the road. You know where the driver is coming, turning, right? You know the name of the driver. You hop in the car. You can track it. That's how you can run your business today, where you can immediately text the person and say, thank you for booking an appointment for an in-house estimation. 24 hours before you send them a text message and say, friendly reminder, tomorrow is your in-house estimation appointment. 2 hours before you say, hey, homeowner, friendly reminder, I'm going to be seeing you in 2 hours. Half an hour before you say, on my way. That makes it real for them. And then you show up, you do a fabulous estimate. They're going to be sold instead of like trying to, and you give them a chance to confirm the appointment, to confirm the address that you're going to. So then when you walk in, they're not like, oh, sorry, give me half an hour. I'm in the shower. Let me come out so then you can do the estimate. You're going to respect your time. They're going to respect their time, because it's going to be like that Uber Lyft thing of where you're exactly, where the car is moving, who's the driver. You are going to be the driver of what you want, right? And you have to have an all-in perspective. If you really want to double your revenue or triple your whatever lofty goals you have, you really need to think about doing a little bit of everything, provided you should not be wasting a single marketing dollar. And so you want to have an all-in perspective, but it has to be data-centric. It has to be data-driven. You should have clarity as to every cost per lead, right? You should not be throwing any money away. At any given time, you will have clarity as to where you're spending your dollars on. And I already went over this, the Google local services, because it is a huge trend. It's been a huge trend for the past couple of years. And the Google guaranteed, if you're not Google guaranteed, think about it. So if you look at a search engine page, there's the Google guaranteed, the Google ads, the Google business profile, which is free. Google doesn't charge you anything to claim your Google business profile, optimize it, push content on it, talk about your brand. Then is the SEO on a search page. And if you look at a search page, now that I've kind of walked you through the anatomy of a search page, guaranteed ads, Google's a business. So they're going to showcase the brands that are spending money with them. Then they want to be the world's best search engine. Therefore, they're going to show the brands that have done the homework and that are putting in the work to keep talking about who they are, who they serve. What is the appointment link from here? Is it easy? Does it go to a website that loads rapidly? All those things control who ranks here. Then you do the SEO. Even before the SEO, if you see here, there's Yelp, Home Advisor, all of those big dogs that take up all that space. Then your homepage will list. And if you're looking at a search engine page, you'll actually see on the bottom, Google will bookend the page with more ads, right? Because they are in it for revenue. So if you look at a search page, the top will have ads, the bottom will have ads, and then in the middle is where you're going to land. You can be number one if you're guaranteed. Number two, if you can afford to spend on ads. You can be at both places if you're running local services ads and PPC ads. You must have a business profile, claimed, verified, reviews. Look at the person that's ranking here in this example. The person that's running an ad has 84 reviews. This person is not running ads, but has 44 reviews, because Google wants to show those best business owners. And so you must have a reputation management plan in place where you're consistently getting those reviews. Then you can think about those 5 keywords and SEO and all of that. So why I'm showing you this is that local services ads is a big trend. You're leaving money on the table if you're not guaranteed, if you're not tapping into it. You'll probably see the same brands, like go and play around on a search page. You'll see how those same brands will show up everywhere, right? That's how you win in the search game. So I said it's a tedious process. I'm giving you the breakdown. Like, you can go ahead and do it yourself if you have a team member. Or if you'd like my agency's help, we can help you. You go complete an application. They will run a background check on the owner because they are guaranteeing you. They want to be sure that you're a good human, you don't have a criminal background. And then they will run a background check on your key employees. They'll do a license check. They'll do a background. They use a service called Pinkerton Consulting, which will go ahead and verify all of your insurance, that you don't have any black marks. And everybody that's part of your team must complete a background check. It's just a form. You're not paying for it. Google's paying for it, but it's just tedious paperwork, right? You're completing all of this. Once approved, if active in your area, you will just pay per lead basis. And what we've seen for general contractors is $25 to $45 per lead. What is a $45 lead for a kitchen or a bathroom remodel? And those prices kind of shift over time based on the volume of search. And of course, it varies by city, varies by what your industry, like what you're trying to achieve, but it typically lands between that. And the thing is, you can set a max. You can say, this month, I only want to spend $1,000. I'm going to track my leads and figure out what the cost per lead is landing at and the quality of the leads. So it's a little bit of a tedious in terms of paperwork and submissions and waiting for Google to submit it. But to do this, you must have a Google business profile claimed and verified. It's okay if you don't have any reviews yet, but you need to have that. And then you do the Google Local Services application. Once you get guaranteed and you start running ads, that's when the magic happens. So from the users that use the local services ads, is a low cost per lead. It's higher quality than Home Advisor, because if you use Home Advisor and you're familiar with Home Advisor, what Home Advisor does is once a lead comes in, they take it and they blast it out to their entire database. They don't care. Here, the lead that comes to you is yours. They found you, they clicked on your brand name, and they are only talking to you, right? And so they're a higher quality lead. There's still some price shoppers, right? So you have to follow up quickly. So if we have an automation in place to follow up quickly, then we can eliminate those price shoppers. And there is solid return on investment, right? If you spend $1,000 and you go look at your return on investment from local services ads, you're going to say, this is totally worth it. Like, let me just notch it up. For some contractors, we don't even do anything else. We just do local services ads, because that's how high the quality is. And so if you're spending any money on Home Advisor or Angie's List or those things, you're going to be better served focusing on search, because this lead is exclusive to you, right? Google's not taking your lead and like funneling it to like other general contractors. They give you that lead because that lead search, they are in your geographic vicinity, they found you, they liked something about what they saw about your brand on Google, that they clicked on it and said, I want to do business with you. So if you look at the back-end dashboard of local services ads, you'll have the contact information, the phone number, the email address, and then we can build out automations to rapidly follow up with them. Any questions? Somebody typed in, does Google guarantee showing up? No, Google does. You have to do SEO. Does Google guarantee show up if you're not running ads? There's two things you can do if you're not running ads. You need solid reviews, right? You need to have reviews, because Google loves reviews. If somebody else is talking about you, that you're fabulous, that you're great, Google loves to showcase those businesses. So it doesn't cost you money to speak to your raving fans to get those reviews. The next thing you can do is SEO, which is long-term. Google likes businesses that are talking about their exact services via keywords. So those are the only ways to guarantee it. You can get Google guaranteed and not run ads, but what's the point of it? You won't show up, right? So Google does not guarantee. Google will show you in, let's say you're in Twin Cities, Minnesota, and somebody's searching for you. Google will show you in that geographic vicinity if your Google business profile is claimed, verified, and you're posting content on it, and you have a few reviews. With reviews, if you're at 50 reviews, you will get a steady stream of organic leads. If you get to triple-digit reviews, which is 100 reviews, that's when the magic happens. You'll become unstoppable, right? You'll get a steady stream of leads from Google if you're at triple-digit reviews, right? So, any other questions? All right. So moving along, we're almost done. Will the green check mark show up if you're not paying for ads? Yeah, the green check mark will show up, but it'll be on the in the Google profile section, right? So you won't be on the very top, but the green check mark will show up. Yes, once guaranteed, the green check mark does show up. And there's verification required annually, because again, Google's trying to be the world's best search engine, so they want really high caliber, high quality businesses, verified, insured, with a real human being behind it as the owner. So there's that routine verification that you need to be going through. But yeah, you get the check mark, you got the check mark, and it sticks with you. Next steps is you can go to AdWords, you can sign up, you can do your background checks, and then you can play the game based on whether the return on investment makes sense for you. But it's definitely worth investing some time to look at it if you're not Google guaranteed. And thank you for spending this hour with me. Make sure that you build out your plan, make sure that you know what those numbers are. And you want to have, for maximum flow of calls, leads, profitability in your business, what are the things that you're going to do? Are you going to do 2 things, 3 things? If you're going to dabble in all 8 of them, how long are you going to dabble in all 8 of them? When are you going to stop and say, of the 8 things, I need to do more of just 3 things. What are those 3 things? And it's not a feeling. Digital marketing is not a feeling of saying, oh, SEO is probably good for my business. No, it's data driven. It's every dollar you can calculate the return on investment. What did you learn? What did you notice? Would you like to share something? If somebody would like to share, feel free to unmute and speak up. Did it open up your eyes as to how you need the goal set? So you think about your lead quality, think about your lead projects. Spend a little bit of time looking at that workbook that I've shared with you so you can go ahead and kind of look at 2022, see what worked, because we are coming out of the pandemic, supposedly in a recession, but the people that have the money, the dreams to improve their homes, they are out there. If you have a solid strategy in place, they are going to find you. So just go implement what I spoke about in your business. And if you'd like to hang out with me some more, you can go to growthplancall.com and schedule a one-on-one with me. I don't like to sell, my clients find me. What I do if you come to a growth plan call is I'll run a snapshot report of how your business is perceived by the Google algorithm. And I can share it with you. You can take the report and you'll see where your opportunities are. And you'll be able to go ahead and make a plan for yourself. If you have a marketing person in-house, I'll tell you the top 3 things that you need to focus on. And you can go ahead and get working on that. So to really put this time into better, to get more return on investment from these 60 minutes, work through that workbook, think about what it's going to take for you to get Google guaranteed. Go ahead and start spending $500 on local services ads and look at the quality of leads. If it makes sense for you, up it, have a plan in place so you're able to meet those goals, because once you write down your goals, you're going to hit them. And so I hope this has helped you. And if you have questions, I'm happy to hang out a bit more and answer any questions that you might have. Any questions? Awesome. I appreciate your time. Take good care. Bye.